So you have your reflexology business. How long had that been running, or had it already evolved by the time you bring your baby home?
So I left corporate in 2012 and I had my daughter 2016.
Okay. And were you still in the reflexology business then?
Yes. So when I was on mat leave, I I was on mat leave, but I'm self-employed, so you know what that's like.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like clients were asking me, when are you going to be back? They wanted me to be helping them still, and that was lovely because I felt really valued and supported. People wanted to still support my business. But how hard was that then for me to take a proper, what I would have had if I'd had it in corporate life, proper
Yeah.
maternity? It's
Yeah.
so
Well, you
hard.
can't switch off. You can't switch off in the same way because, and you worry, at that time, was it just you and your business
Yes.
and
Oh,
doing the
yes. My
reflexology? Yeah.
reflexology business was always, yeah, just me. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So you worry about what will happen to it. Like if you don't go back at the right time, then will all of those people take their feet somewhere else? Like,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
going to happen? And
Yeah.
you want to be sure that that business is there for you to come back to when you're ready. But it's not like you can just switch off ever. It's never like that. So what did you do with your maternity? How long did you have? And why did you decide to go back?
I'd say properly, I only really had, and I don't know for definite. I think what happened was I'd say yes to one person, and I think, yep, I can do that because they like to come in the evenings, and my husband would be home, and I tried it with one, and then I think it slowly sort of started to do more, but I never went back up to what I had been doing before, and I realised that I'd changed career because I thought that would see me through the early years. So I learned lots of different therapies. I wasn't just a reflexologist, to be honest. I'd done lots of different courses and lots of different things I could do. And I was kind of focusing on, because it kind of came to me, all the fertility, and I wasn't really planning to do like that focus, but I did end up sort of really focusing on fertility and motherhood as well. And I just felt really conflicted because actually I was really struggling with the
Yeah.
whole becoming a mum. And yet I was being asked to help other people to become mums. And I was thinking, I feel like I need to tell them how I'm feeling, but how do you do that when someone is like, I still had this when I've done 3 different full coaching certifications, 3, because they're all different. First one was very much about, self-love and, becoming the whole of you and, very much about being a woman. And then the next 2 were very much about being a mum, being and motherhood and matrescence and the seasons of matrescence. And that still hadn't, at this point, obviously I hadn't started that coaching training. I still hadn't worked out what are people willing to talk about, because I was going to baby groups and no one wanted to talk about much. I would start conversations and feel like it wasn't welcome, or just people didn't have the capacity to get into the sort of chat that I wanted to get into,
What
the
did you
real
want to talk
talk.
about? Yeah. Go on,
How are
such
you
as.
really feeling? Like, are you actually enjoying this? It's all you, especially when you've been through a fertility journey. I actually feel quite emotional, actually. That surprised me. Um, how do you own up to actually wondering if you've done the right thing? Like, you've spent all this time wanting to be a mum and focusing your whole life around becoming a mum and going to such great efforts to make it happen for you. And then you're like, holy, what have I
It's fine.
done?
You can say it if you want to. No, I relate. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
And
in
it,
those early days, just like, how am I going to
yeah.
survive this? It's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, those conversations are rare. And I think perhaps because in those baby groups, there actually are a lot of new mums who are really struggling with all of those kind of concepts and those identity shifts and the overwhelm and the lack of sleep and all of it clustered together. But there's a lot of shame attached
Oh,
to admitting that even to yourself. And
mm,
especially, as you said, that you'd work so hard and so much time and energy going into, you'd kind of flipped your life upside down to make sure that this could happen for you because it was so important. And it seems ungrateful to ever complain about any element of it. And you hold yourself to such a high standard.
Yeah. And they're so beautiful and wonderful, and they bring you so much joy, and yet it's so hard to look after yourself and look after a baby.